Evening,
Evening,
everyone.
everyone.
Coming at you
Coming
with
at
the
you
late
with the
night
late night
briefing.
briefing.
Um,
Um,
few different
few different
things.
things.
A bit of a
A bit of a
rotation
rotation
today
today
with
with
oil
oil
kind
kind
of
of
popping up
popping
and
up
then
and
getting
then
a nice
getting a nice
continuation.
continuation.
Surprisingly,
Surprisingly, oil
oil
calls
calls
did
did not
not
do
do
very
very
well.
well.
I went
I
ahead
went
and
ahead
took
and took
profits. I've
profits.
been
I've been
looking to
looking to
maybe play
maybe
some
play
more
some more
upside
upside
if
if
we
we
get
get
the
the
breakout
breakout
over
over
this
this
trend
trend
line.
line.
So I'll be
So I'll
kind
be
of
kind of
watching
watching
to
to
see
see
how
how
that
that
continues
continues
to
to
pan
pan
out
out
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
That
That
definitely
definitely
caused
caused
some
some
selling in
selling in
tech,
tech.
but it
But it
wasn't. It
wasn't it
wasn't a
wasn't a
straight up
straight up
um,
um,
clear
clear
rotation. So we
rotation.
need
So
to
we
see
need to
what
see
day
what
two
day two
brings.
brings.
There's
There's
definitely some
definitely some
profit
profit
taking
taking
in
in
some
some
names,
names,
big
big
sell-offs
sell-offs
from
from
NVDA
NVDA
today,
today,
especially
especially
after
after
news that
news that
NVIDIA is
NVIDIA
working
is
with
working
major
with major
banks to
banks to
secure
secure
500
500
billion
billion
in
in
future
future
AI
AI
deals.
deals.
Market
Market
threw a fit
threw a
over
fit
that
over that
because
because
handshaking
handshaking
at the
at the
sky
sky
about
about
debt number
debt
too
number too
big.
big.
I went
I went
ahead
ahead
and wrote
and
up a
wrote up a
big
big
newsletter about
newsletter about
that.
that.
So
So
I
I'd
recommend you
recommend you
go
go
read
read
that
that
if
if
you
you
want
want
to
to
know
know
like
where
where
my
my convictions
convictions
from
from
AI
AI
come
come
from,
from,
despite
despite
thinking
thinking
that
that
the
the
other
other
will
will
eventually be some
eventually be
sort
some
of blow
sort
up
of blow
event.
up event.
So
So
try to dip
tried
buying
did
on
buying on
NVIDIA a few
NVIDIA a few
times,
times
and then
and
came
then
in with
came in with
size
size
on
on
the
the
daily
daily
resetting
resetting
back
back
to
to
the
the
bullish
bullish
EMAs. This
EMAs. This
is
is
oftentimes a
oftentimes a
great buy the
great buy
dip
the dip
moment.
moment.
So I
So
am
I
looking
am looking
for
for
something like
something like
a
a
bounce
bounce
tomorrow. I
tomorrow. I
don't want
don't
to
want to
see a
see a
continuation.
continuation.
So from
So
here,
from
I'm
here, I'm
writing out
writing
a
out
pretty
a
tight
pretty tight
stop.
stop.
It's a nice
It's a nice
bounce in the
bounce in the
after
after
hours,
hours,
but if we
but if we
back
back
test
test
this, if we
this,
end up
if we end up
clearing
clearing
out like
out like
217,
217,
okay,
okay,
I'm gonna
I'm
have
gonna
to get
have to
out of
get
that
out of
one
that one
and give it
and
some
give it some
time.
time. You know,
I think it's
I
still
think
a
it's
great
still a great
idea. I
idea.
still
I still
think,
think
potential for
potential
new
for new
highs, or at
highs or
least
at
a double
least a double
top,
top
is
is
on the
on the
table.
table.
Daily
Daily
2 days
2 days
still
still
looking
looking
great.
great.
It's definitely still in a
A
bullish
bullish
formation.
formation.
I took
I
some
took some
size on
size on
FLR. It was
FLR. It
pretty
was
slow
pretty
to
slow to
add for
add
most
for
of the
most of the
day.
day.
And it
And
sold.
it sold.
That
That
doesn't mean
doesn't mean that it doesn't.
it did not
It did
sell
not
more
sell
than
more
I
than
was
I was
expecting. Not a
expecting. Not
single
a single
buyer
buyer
today.
today.
Just a lot of
Just a lot of
profit
profit
takings.
takings.
Profit
Profit
taken
taking
after
after
a
a
great
great
earnings.
earnings.
But
But
the the bigger
bigger
structure
structure
here
here
is
is
still
still
very
very
much
much
alive.
alive.
Like I still love
Love
this
this
setup.
setup.
And we've talked
We've
about
talked
this
about
many
this many
times
times
where
where
when you
when you
get
get
to the
to the
trigger,
trigger,
if
if
you're too
you're too
extended
extended
on
on
the
the
daily, you
daily,
can
you
kind
can
of
kind
get
of
these
get these
brutal
brutal
rugs that
rugs that
kind
kind
of
of
clear
clear
out
out
hands
hands
and
and
then
then
gives
gives
the
the
move.
move.
Especially on these cup and
handles.
handles.
We've seen these secure setups. I don't even know how many times that later it prints. So I am willing to be a little bit patient with that. Of course,
I'm not
I'm not
married
married
to
to
any
any
ideas.
ideas.
So
So
if
if
we
we
get
get
a further
a
sell
sell
off
off
tomorrow
tomorrow
with
with no
bounce at
bounce
all,
at all,
just
just pure
pure sellers
sellers
and
and
sellers
sellers
on
on
high
high
R vol.
R-Vol.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
have
have
to
to
unfortunately cut
unfortunately
that
cut
one
that
or
one or
size
size
down
down
substantially,
substantially
just
just
to
to
manage
manage
the
the
risk
risk
on
on
it,
it,
and
and
then
then
I
I
might
might
end
end
up
up
coming
coming
back
back
later.
later.
Gold,
Gold, I
think,
think,
it's
it's got a lot more in the tank,
but
but
it's
it's
definitely,
I would like to see some sort of bounce, but this thing just keeps gapping up huge. Went ahead and took 20% on it today and then rolled into a much smaller position.
It
And
definitely
definitely
feeling
some
some
FOMO
FOMO
on this one.
I find it really hard to not
size up huge, but I
I
really just want my dip.
I want my dip,
I want my
and
dip, and the reasoning is that it's so overbought on the 65 minute. Just please give me a more sizable reset. We're getting these tiny dips, but they're just they're dips for ants. And I do think that I should have just been more patient with my original swing entry and just been more respectful. I should have just been considering like
when gold runs, it runs like this. There's not very many dips
in these moves, especially when there's strong influence.
Luckily,
I do think that I'm gonna get a really good entry in silver tomorrow. Because this thing is also showing signs of a breakout here. It looks really strong. So
I want
to be hitting this one tomorrow, I think.
And adding that to the list of ideas. It's also interesting to me that despite the rotation, we didn't see. We saw like selling to kick off the day on McDonald's.
The initial move off the open looks really good. I really would like to see a move through 276 and kind of failed the breakdown on the trend line here. And with signs of rotation overall, I was really shocked to see weakness in some of these solid names of that
sector. But ended up just finishing the day flat. It was nothing very. There's nothing substantial, right? I mean, there's obviously some people who are still getting out, but they're kind of selling the lows, in my opinion, which is also pretty normal. Costco got a nice reversal today, starting off the day weak, and then we saw some strength at the close. Our vol is still really pathetic. So I still want to see if this thing can break some more major trend lines. I think these lines look a little bit cleaner on the 65 minute. We can see that. We do have the breakout over this wedge, and it has continued to hold. It's been a fun hold, but it has continued to hold. So I went ahead and nibbled on it a little bit more. Should be noted that like my 2-day is now firing to the upside. So I'm looking for that daily to confirm that. If we can get that, we can get a bigger move here. Obviously, the tree is that the weekly gets a turn. This is kind of similar to the Netflix idea, which it takes quite some time, but is finally paying out pretty well. It should be noted that I think Netflix looks a lot better over 78, even though it is pain. Especially now that the weekly has actually begun to turn. So you got the 2-day turning really nicely. You got the flip on the 1-day. I still think that this might try and do some consolidation sideways, but if we can get over 78, that's when I size back up. For now, I just took some profit. I just rolled a portion of my profits just to keep some locked in. Because even though this looks like a nice technical setup, we still don't have like a very clear driver for what's the storyline here to bring a ton of interest back into the name. I took some CV and A into the day because we actually have failed breakdown into breakout, even though I hate this name. I'm not even going to go over how much I hate the Garcia family. But a failed breakdown into a breakout it's always a good play. I still was kind of tempered in my sizing despite that because again it's another name that's a bit extended. But a good setup is a good setup, man. I had some nice profits on NP today. I think the much bigger move comes later. Was a little bit extended. I want to see what tomorrow morning brings us. So kind of sold the morning pop, and then actually did a great job of consolidating though into the close. So let's see if we get another morning pop that we can kind of play into. Really good influence on the 2-day, on the 1-day, and the 2-day. For our largest stock position, we're looking good here. Again, if they're holding through this bleeding because fundamentals here are still extremely strong. HIMS is turning into one of the most frustrating things in my portfolio, and we just had a big sell-off of earnings that I honestly have not looked at yet. So I'm probably going to do some review on this after I'm done recording this video and get this uploaded. But we might be looking to take a cut here. And walking away, unfortunately, with great returns on trades for HIMS. And maybe a slight gain on shares. I actually don't know off the top of my head. We did size down. We did size up into the teens pretty substantially, so I might come out slightly ahead. But those returns are not going to feel good. This has been a very frustrating name because I think the thesis is very strong, but the naysayers just love slamming the stock, you know? And these sell-offs are frustrating because these sell-offs are just from long-term investment in the company. I'm assuming that's what happened here. Here was previous earnings were larger losses than expected from the inventory of semaglutides, which are now banned and no longer sells. And I'm imagining some of this is from generating peptide production and interest in getting more AI investments, which is great for the business in the long term. This is okay. I don't know. I just feel like this is a market right now that wants to pretend like you aren't supposed to invest in your company, and everyone keeps talking about cash flow. It's like what are we talking about? Growth companies are supposed to grow. They're supposed to spend and grow aggressively. So especially when they are growing. You're growing, you got great margins, you've got favorable regulatory environment, and a whole new sector that's been blown open for you. You've got amazing partnerships, leadership in the sector, a founder story. But this performance, this prolonged consolidation is just brutal to sit through. So I don't know. I'm not going to convince myself to hold, but it's going to be something that I'm going to be taking a deeper look at this upcoming week. So yeah. I mean, that's kind of where my thoughts sit right now. I do have a lot of positions on. I noticed Upwork didn't pan out, so I'm going to end up probably cutting this position. It's very frustrating that this company somehow isn't converting all the money that the actual users are making into revenue for the company. So this is pretty brutal sell-off, though. So I'm gonna be probably forced out of that one. See if there is some sort of bounce off of 751. But I do think that this was a good theory, in my opinion. Justified by the fact that there was signs of some good momentum turns here. And who knows, with the setup on the momentum indicators like this could be a thing. This could be like a triple bottom you bounce off of, forming the base. It's not impossible. And I probably need to take a deeper look into that earnings report. See if there's something I missed that would cause good buyers to come in off of that. So yeah, it's getting back to tougher market conditions. We keep getting these nice pops where things are easy, and then it just slips back into chop and bakes on very mediocre theses. People like Ed Zitron really have the media attention now. Again, go to my newsletter. That guy's completely full of shit. All of his ideas are ass. They're just not justifiable. But the market can be possessed, and you have to respect price action and manage your risk during moments of survival so that you can be there when the good times come back. So that's really the name of the game, right? So we'll continue to take it day by day, look for new opportunities. I do think I'm going to take a large position in silver and kind of add that to my portfolio of big convictions. Quite honestly, I almost like silver more than gold. To be clear, especially since it's just now breaking out. It loves to chase this long gold. Gold's already out of the infant stage of this breakout, and silver is still there. So I'll be watching that one tomorrow. Fingers crossed they don't give me like a brutal gap up that I have to chase. There are some longer term ideas here that I have on right now as well. Irene came back, tested today, but honestly on and was that a sell-off? Was that last minute sell-off and close? That last minute sell-off actually makes this a potential cut tomorrow, actually, if we do get further lows. So we need to see the bounce right here. The 2 days,
2 days
still looks okay. No turn on the weekly makes this difficult. With how much short interest is in this one, though, I'm definitely willing to give it a few attempts. I think NVDA was one that I went ahead and took off of this trend line here. This sell-off looks insane. I don't mean to say it in a good way. Just my brain broke for a second there. But if there was going to be a bounce, this is where you want to see the bounce. You want to see the bounce off this key level and off this trend line. So let's see if this ends up becoming like a failed breakdown, or if we can get a continuation higher. I went ahead and took a small position to see if we can get that, or it might be a stop tomorrow, and I might take another scrape and kind of have to reset the plate and evaluate my appetite for risk. Because we might be heading back into a chop. I still don't. Keep in mind, and this is worth noting too, is like the overall indexes are just fine. Like SPY looks completely fine.
If we look at the Qs look completely fine as well.
So the weakness in tech and really honestly the strongest names that are making the most money is completely narrative driven. It's not data driven at all. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about the weather, so the turmoil, so that you can be there when the good times come back. Because indexes look fine, data looks fine, market price action is just ass. But it can only be that way for so long. Yeah. We'll stay thesis driven, not too emotional over one day price action, especially for longer term swing positions that have high time frame setups, and follow the process, baby. All right, remember, follow the process. God bless you guys in the morning.